Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how delusional the opposition is, or how apparent it is that another entity is using that vessel. You know what I'm saying? So what brought me to this subject today is I was out at the pool with my mini yesterday, and I had a guy just randomly stop me, which happens to me all the time, and he asked me if he had knew me or seen me around somewhere, like an older white gentleman, and I didn't know him from Adam and Eve, but I didn't mind carrying on a conversation with him. So of course, when he starts opening up about conversation, he was saying where he was from. He said like Bosnia or somewhere, and I could hear an accent in his voice. Personally, I don't know where the fuck Bosnia is at, you know what I'm saying? So my first guess was, or a question I asked, is that in Russia or around Russia area somewhere? And he had said something like, you from American, like you're American. He was like, yeah, Americans don't know your geographics or some shit like that. And I was like, nah, I just don't give a fuck about no other countries over there. You see how shitty this country is over here that you're in right now? Yeah, I don't give a fuck about learning about what's going on over there. Now, if I had access to be able to move around to help that shit, but first you gotta take care of your home base. That's anywhere. That's even the countries over there. You gotta take care of your home base before you could worry about us over here in this fucked up ass Western world society, you know what I'm saying? But I could tell it was like an agent in like disguise just by the engagements and the way he decided to carry on the conversation. And for some reason, I notice the color, right? But they always lead with that. So of course his statement to open up would be after the other statement, like, I don't give a fuck about other countries after I get this shit straight. He was like, yeah, it's just crazy how something about how the world is like up front or like a lot more out there since Trump or somebody has been in the office or some shit, or since he went through the office. And I was just thinking to myself, like, and I said it out loud after thinking it to myself, like, it don't matter if it's Trump or Biden, it wouldn't make a difference. Like, right wing, left wing, it's the same bird. Like, it's retarded to me when people be talking about which wing of the bird is better. I don't give a damn if you like the thigh or the breast or the leg or the wing. It's all coming from the same bird. So it's just like, even that shit is a spell in itself. Like, but when he was just making those statements, I could tell that he was one of those people that felt like he had answers, like he knew, but then he keep rephrasing stuff as if he doesn't have answers that he don't know, but then he keeps making comments and reference points to things that he's not standing on. And it was a clear, prime example. Like, the universe just always shows me that, like, I'm standing in my light no matter how hard it is, no matter how awkward or uncomfortable it is. Like, my daughter, it was like at the public pools, you got like a 15-minute break before they let you get back in. So it was during one of them 15-minute breaks, and he came out his way to come over in my space where me and my daughter was at. But his daughter had came over and interrupted one time, just came and looked at him. She was older than my daughter. My daughter's 6, so his had to be like somewhere between the, I think he said 8 or 9 range, you know, old enough. And the first time I didn't say anything, I just kind of let it go, you know, because the conversation was like, it was like shifting it, being all weird, because then he had made a statement. I told him, like, he asked me what I do or something. I told him, like, you know, I kind of put spiritual content, you know, self-awareness, just enlightening, you know, the community up about what's going on out here, the spiritual war, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as I make the statement, he just like, oh, I don't believe in YouTube. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. You don't have to believe in it. YouTube is a third party. YouTube is not me. You know, YouTube is a third party carrier. It's not, it monitors the shit you say, but it's not, and yes, you're gonna have agents wherever you go to. That's how the Western world is set up. But the thing is with that shit, right, before I get too far off with making a point about how the universe sends the signs, his daughter came and interrupted again, like 5 minutes, couple minutes later. We were still on a 15-minute break, and when she had came and interrupted this time, the conversation was already getting a little weird because he kept making all these points and trying to make it seem like because he was in war, he know that guns are bad. And I'm just telling, like, you sound like a dumbass. Like, you would be the first one dead. Like, guns are not bad. You're trying to say technology is bad. It's not the technology. It's the people that's running the technology, that's using the technology. You know, it's not the guns that's bad. And even if you remove the guns, the sword or the knife is not bad. It's the beings that's using it. And that's all he could have to say was, I don't know, because I could tell, like, he one of them people that when he communicate with other people, they don't know shit. So then the points that he make, because he he said he was a single father or some shit like that, and blase blah. You got me running and rambling right now, right? Let me get back to the point. So his daughter had cut us off and talking again. My daughter was still sitting down chilling. I made it my point to say it out loud, like, see, and then your daughter doing this is very disrespectful. She should at least be saying excuse me when two grown-ups or two adults are speaking. She is not being taught manners or how to be polite or respectful, so I can already tell what's up with his energy. And he tried to reference back to me and saying, oh no, see, that's something about, like, that's none of your business, that's me and her over here, or he said some weird off the wall shit that made no sense. And I just kept saying to myself, like, no, that's extremely disrespectful. Like, your daughter, she's younger. She should know to be more respectful. We're talking. It's not no, hey, daddy. And then just start asking you questions. You 8, 9 years fucking old. Like, why are you doing this? My daughter's 6 and chilling, and she knows. I'll say excuse me, or I'll wait and I'll have a question. She just kind of knows, you know, to be more respectful of adults having conversation. Nobody's shunning you away not to listen, but as far as you chiming in being disrespectful, just cutting off to ask your own question, it was extremely disrespectful. So I end up cutting all the communication off because he said something, and then he tried to come back for a communication after he got done helping her, but I was like, oh no, I'm good with the conversation, you know, you have a good day or whatever. So me and my daughter finished having our great day at the pool. We getting ready to leave. 2 of the guys, like little kids that she been seeing at the pool all week, kind of became her little friends from seeing her there all the time. So we go over to the concession thing. Their dad is working back there. Same situation fucking happened. Me and the dad is talking. I give the dad my business cards. We chopping it up. He give me his information because he got like a Christian podcast, but it's more so of like he was explaining it to him and just saying it's not like your general Christian podcast that you would think it is. It's just a little bit more open-minded, you know, as far as towards the natural flow of life. And me and him was talking and building, and one of his sons came in and interrupted, and he cut the joint off right then and there. And he checked it. He let him know, hey, you wait till we are done talking. You know, he gave him a second, but he corrected the situation right away, unlike the other situation that happened with the daughter and the father. And it's like the way that they hop in these vessels out here, it was just mind-blowing to me, because the universe sent me a sign a few hours later letting me know that, oh, okay, that was an agent that came at you just now. You stood your ground firm in your beliefs, and now I'm going to show you a small spiritual reward of you standing in your beliefs of the exact same situation, but it being fucking corrected. So that's where, like, when you operate with the natural flow consistently, like, it's gonna be extremely hard to knock you off your square as long as you standing firm. It doesn't matter if all the physical objects is in the way, because what happened is that didn't have nothing to do with physical objects. That was just a spiritual, energetic engagement. You know what I'm saying? And the energy was all weird when we was communicating, and I was trying to correct the energy, not correct the energy, but adjust the energy, because I could tell this was an agent, but I already let it go too far already. So then once I pulled away, the universe was like, all right, you did a good job. You still in your beliefs. You let me know, blah, blah. All right, we're going to send you a similar situation right now to show you, hey, you are doing a great job at standing publicly right now. Like, it wasn't like a loud, big-ass scene, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't in the confines of my house or, like, in the corner of an outside space somewhere. It was, like, people around, but it wasn't, like, bunched in on top of us. It wasn't no yelling and screaming. We fucking adults out here, you know what I'm saying? But me just being aware consistently and knowing that this is a spiritual war going on, you know what I'm saying? And it goes for all of us, just constantly knowing it's a spiritual war. That's why I knew not to burn myself out on that, because when you go into saying, oh, yeah, I don't line my kids, I don't line my daughter on no technology. Like, in the sense of somebody who doesn't know any better, they would be like, oh yeah, that's a great job. Good job. You should, technology is bad. But for me, I got way more common sense to know that we use what the fuck we have. It's like when I see these birds out here, they didn't say, hey, remove these electrical wires out my way. They started using these bitches to land on. The same thing with the poles and everything else. We use that shit to flip for us, for the greater cause and the greater good, as I'm watching the birds fly and go land back on the damn wires right now. You know what I'm saying? There's no trees. What they gonna do? Oh, well, we're gonna figure out the way to put these straws together and all the sticks and build one up that could possibly get blown down or knocked down. Like, no, they adjust and they use what they have. And the only ones who's really stuck on this physical 3D realm so hard and solid is the weaker vessels and the oppositions. The weaker vessels is the sheeps. The oppositions, y'all already know, is these witchy, demonic motherfuckers out here. You know what I'm saying? Per se, on the outside looking in, it looked like he didn't have ill intentions. You know what I'm saying? But me knowing what time it is, like, ain't no reason for you to be even talking to me, period. I'm out here with my daughter. You didn't see me going out my way to engage with nobody out here. Oh, hey, do I know you? I feel like I've seen you somewhere before. Oh, yeah. No, motherfucker, I look like a created player. I've heard that my whole life growing up. I'm like, yo, yeah, I just look familiar. That's all that is. I'm a familiar spirit. I have a familiar look. I was sent here to fucking be familiar, to help relay this spiritual war information that's going on and help the ones that's around me battle this shit. And then I still be battling other motherfuckers' wars in the spiritual realm. That's what y'all have to understand. You don't have to be connected to me for me to handle part of this engagement or this war for you. Like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be used. It's like if I was the only, they doing construction beside me, they would start now. But it's like if I was one guy in a room full of 10 girls, if they needed something lifted, the first motherfucker they're gonna come to is me. That's expected. I don't look at that like that, oh, that's something, I'm built for this shit. Y'all need me to lift some shit? Cool, use my vessel. That's what it's here for. You know what I'm saying? But even the most minor engagements, you have to be aware that it could possibly be an attack. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you gotta take everything in that manner, because I operate on a much higher frequency, but when you have to look at the circumstances and the situation and how it plays out. You know what I'm saying? For me, in that situation right there, it was no reason to come and talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Other than trying to see what's going on with me. And then when you hear a little bit what's going on with me, it's you twisting and turning these other things out there that just didn't even make sense. Like, just because you've been in a war over in another country don't mean that guns are bad, motherfucker. That just means you retarded. You went and warred in some shit and fought some shit that wasn't even for the right causes. Like, clearly, because you're here, that didn't even make sense. I'm gonna go fight and risk my life in another war over here, but then I'm gonna go move over here. Why the fuck was you fighting for them? If I'm fighting for my motherfucking family and people over here, best believe my spirit is gonna leave this place right here, not over there. You feel me? But that's just how it's set up. I ain't gonna run it up too long because I don't know how long they're gonna be doing this shit, you know what I'm saying? Just tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.